is here. The champ is here. The champ is here.
What's up, fight fans? We are back at it with another edition here at Round One Sports TV. I am always your host, Edwin. Where the war fights start.
Round one.
We have an amazing show here tonight. We're gonna be talking about Border Wars, November 8th. I will be fighting. I believe I'm gonna be headlining the event now. I think I'm the main event. Me and OC the boss is probably gonna be the main event. So if you're not in Atlanta, Georgia, you can always tune in here at Round One Sports TV on Saturday, November 8th. I think the festivities kick off at 10 a.m. And I'm gonna be live streaming it here on my platform. So Ness and them, I'm gonna be using their setup with their cameras, the same stream. So whatever they record is what's gonna be being played on my show as well. It'll just be the original show. So you know, finishing up last minute. Well, let me put up your chats. I don't even got your chats on. What's up? Uh, what's up? Dragons, bro. Your name is crazy. What's up, bro? Yeah, I'm just finishing up. Uh, last 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 bit of training and shit. Sparring and stuff. In fact, I got in some good sparring today. You know, got my little lumps in today. Yo, man, you know what I'm saying? Check out my face. Look at this eye right here. Ooh, he got me looking like Cleopatra Jones in this motherfucker. Look at that shit. Yo, I'm like really looking at it now, like shit. And then like, look at my nose. Oh, that got touched up too, right there. Look. That little bloody nose and shit. But he had two bloody noses. So I had the one bloody nose, and I got the little lump. He had the two bloody noses. You know what I mean? So we got some good work in today. You know, it was it was a good experience today. Once again, after like we finished the 3 rounds and stuff, and I immediately hugged the kid, and I was just like, thanks, man, because um feeling the intensity of an opponent in front of you, that alone will drain you. And I forget that. I forget that. I was a little frustrated in the first round, um, because I could tell that it was happening, but I couldn't stop it, right? And then it was like my body wanted a second to readjust, but I'm in the middle of a fight. I don't got those seconds. So you learn how to create these moments and the when and the where. So sparring is so sacred, right? And I appreciate it more when I spar again. It's fresh. It reminds me firsthand why sparring is so important. Um, you can look good hitting a bag. You can be physically strong. You can look good foot movement. But in order to put it together with a moving target or a target that's trying to punch you in the face, there's some punchings coming back. It's a bit different. Not just a bit, a lot. Okay? And you see, because I've sparred earlier, in the month and stuff, but as I spar, the sparring sessions get stronger and stronger. And I knew this, right? Okay. So today's sparring session was 3 rounds and we were just fighting. Me and the kid, they let us go. All right. There was no feel out process. There's nothing. You all are fighting. We fought for 3 rounds. So today was it's really important. It was really important to me, right? Because uh, you know, I don't want to give too much. You know what I'm saying? I'm like thinking about what I'm about to say and shit, and I'm like choosing my words, like, I don't want to give away too much or whatever, right? But today was a good sparring day, a good learning day. Um and I had two moments in this sparring that I was looking for. Going into the sparring, I had already knew when I was left my house that today was potentially going to be a sparring day. I already knew it. I was prepared for it. I had took my vitamins, everything for the sparring day. And there were two things I had told myself when I left my house that I needed to feel out in sparring. One, I needed to get punched in the face, but I wanted him to earn it. I didn't I didn't want to like just allow him to punch me in the face and just like cringe, you know. It's not gonna be real, you know. I wanted it to be slipping one way and he'd catch me, right? And yeah, he caught me. Um, a few of his punches I slipped. And I wanted to see this was not one of my questions. One of my questions was I needed to get hit in the face. I wanted to see my punch resistance against the punch. Am I still built for this? Do I still have punch resistance? Am I fooling myself? Can I take a punch? Is this guy going to come out, hit me, and I'm just going to crumble? Can I take a body shot? Can I deliver one? Can I give a good punch? Do I have enough to back him up? You know what I mean? These are questions I need answers to. A punching bag, a speed bag, a jump rope, that shit don't tell you shit. I need to know. So that's why I respect sparring so much. Unfortunately, we didn't videotape the sparring because sparring is sacred. I took a picture with the young man. I posted it. You guys can go check that out. And but we're working in the sparring. So that was one of my questions when I had left my house. I said to myself, one was I needed to know where I was at punch resistance wise, right? Can I take a good punch and will I be able to last in my gas tank and etc. And this sparring session reminded me of that. And it was just great work. I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm gonna leave it like that. We're 7 days out or something or whatever it is. 5 days. Shit, 5 days. We are 5 days away from Border Wars. 5 days. And Wednesday, I'll be flying out Wednesday. And then we fight on Saturday. You know, uh round one gets the stoppage. That's what's up. Yo, if stop motion MMA 3158. Yeah, if he fucks up, I'll stop him. But I don't think he's gonna fuck up. I think I'm in for the long haul. You know what I'm saying? He came on my channel. I was on TBV Boxing Voice with him. OC the dog popped up. OC the boss popped up. And you know what I'm saying? Typically he wanted to run his mouth. So I had to put him in his place real quick. And I sentenced him. I was the judge, jury, and I'm gonna be the executioner. I sentenced his punk ass to a 2-6. I'm gonna whoop his ass for 2 to 6 minutes. Being that the rounds are 2-minute rounds and there's 3 rounds, that's 6 minutes, right? So anywhere between 2 to 6, anything can happen. You know what I'm saying? He can get knocked out. So I also told his ass he is here to assist me on whooping his ass. That's the way the fight's gonna go. That's the way the fight's gonna be. That's it. Okay. I think when OC the Boss that day came out after his little loss out in August just 2 months ago, I really thought that when he called me out, that he didn't think I was gonna show up. And I really believe that. I really believe it, and I can see it. The fact that we here now, but I gotta give it to OC. He's about this life too. Why? Because this man ain't backing down either. He's showing up. He's there. He's showing. He putting in the work. He put in the sparring. So we got ourselves a fight. And as the fight, we were getting closer to the fight. Look at us. Look at me and OC. Look at how old me and OC are. Look at the challenges that, OC got a family too. We got to go to work and still got to make time to go to the gym. Boxing asks a lot from you. Boxing will keep you honest. It'll remind you when you don't train as hard as you should have. Oh, yes, it will. And boxing's going to let you know, bro, you should have been on your game. But sometimes, even the guys that you think, man, this guy right here, man, I bet you he's going to fuck this dude up, this, that. And all of a sudden you hear he pulled out of the fight. Today we heard another boxer lost his book. What are we going to hear next? How many more guys will not show up or pull out from this because of the fear of losing, knowing they didn't have the time or the luxury or the money or the equipment to train the way they needed to? A lot of us don't have that. What do you think? I have a nutritionist? What do you think? I got a boxing team? Bro, I'll take help every corner I could have got it. And shouts out to Keith Cologne's dad. Called me today. That's a real one, man. He's like, yo, E, man, I'm watching you, man. He's giving me tips and shit. Like, and I'll accept all that shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, whenever it comes. I don't have the ability to travel right now. My wife, she takes the only car we have to work. By the time she gets here, I got my daughter's situation and everything. So I gotta kind of stay like local, not unless they travel and come get me. Then that's a different story. If you go come here, then okay, let's do it, But other than that, I can't really move, So, but maybe a lot of people don't know about my fight as much because I've been really laying low. I decided that if I was going to take this on, I couldn't take on both. All the questions, having my show, the media on the other show, them all asking me, talking shit back and forth, getting my high blood pressure up. I'm going to church on Sunday, me están quitando la bendición. You know what I'm saying? I can't juggle both and concentrate on training. So I decided to cut the social media out of my life for a little bit, or not cut it like all out, but just slow down on it. So a lot of people, even my family included, didn't even know about my fight. But I think that's also a little bit of nervous energy on my part. Not being certain that I just wanted to tell everybody. I just went into like a warrior mode, like Marvelous Hagler. I don't think Marvelous Hagler cared that anybody knew he was in that fucking barn in Cape Cod or whatever, Martha's Vineyard, wherever he was at. Like, he disattached himself from the world. There was no TV in that barn. There was probably none of that shit. He was probably good with just 4 walls, a bag, a speed bag, chip paint, probably no air conditioning. Just add to the training. real Rocky S type dude. That's what I just, you know what I'm saying, strapped on a few tires, threw him up there, and a little canned good, you know what I'm saying? A little determination. Don't let them say you can't stop you because you can't get to the gym. Make your own shit type shit and accept the challenge. Look, I don't think none of us is Superman. You know what I mean? I don't think I'm gonna make a career out of this. I'm 51 years old, bro. 51. You know what I mean? So my sparring partner today was 20. They was laughing. They was like, yo, before you was even born, Edwin was out getting cheeks. He was 30. He had already lived a whole life. I was cracking up. I was like, yo, I could be that kid's dad. I got kids older than him. Of course I do. My daughter's 32 and shit. So damn, I'm old. But I'm in there rocking. They like, Ed, you done, you're old. Yeah, right. Yeah, okay. I think that's what he thought. Yeah, I know. I'm so old that I'm headlining. What? What you doing today? Shit, I just came from the gym. I'm in there getting it in at 51. You know, look at this. Oh, where that? Where that? It's on this side or this side. Ow. That'll be gone by tomorrow. That's a little boo-boo. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. Yo, it's crazy, right? When you mature and you do shit right. Like normally in the street, like I would never show this shit. I'm not advertising somebody else's work on my face. Like get the fuck out of here. And today I'm like happy and proud about it and shit because it was earned the right way. You know this is you know this is the lifestyle of a fighter. To see a fighter with a black eye or you know a little cut or what, it's common. That's your life. And you understand that as a fighter. So when you go in a gym and you see a guy with a black eye, it's not like you stare at him and like, oh shit, who fucked you up? Nah. You look around the gym, most of them got black eyes and shit. And you know what I mean? The real ones, you know, the ones that come after 5, 6 o'clock, the heavy hitters, you know, under 3 o'clock, that's when the kids go. They still have some black eyes too. Them little motherfuckers hit hard. You ever have your 3-year-old hit you in the face? That shit hurt. Right? So so yeah, like I'm in there getting it in right now, you know. Uh and it just shows it asks a lot from you, boxing. It really does. And I get a kick out of it. I get a kick out of it. Um Getting beat up, everything, man. I think I would have been a good boxer, bro. I really do. You know, I don't want to harp on it or anything because I promised myself, you know, your past is just a story. You already lived it. There's no need to, you know, ever in my life with anything that ever happened to me, even just yesterday. That shit is done with. That shit is done with. It happened, whatever. And I try to live in the moment, in the now, always. And you know, I don't want to harp on it or anything, you know. But I you know, I think I could have been a great little boxer, man. I think so. With the right guidance, man, and making the right decisions on my part, you know, on my fucking part, because 95% of my doing is my doing. I did this to myself, like, you know, wrong decisions making, man, you know, and I look back and like, damn, man, you know, but reinventing myself as a fighter, as a man, as a person. I love boxing, you know, and I started seeing other individuals like Ness, like Ring IQ, that dude, you know, Hawk, like them kind of dudes, like they would. talking boxing and shit. I got a kick out of that. And I was like, you know what? I can reinvent myself and give back to boxing and spread the word of boxing with a community of people that love to talk about boxing, right? I didn't know I was going to actually box again. I had no idea, you know. I would try to stay in shape and train, you know. And all of a sudden this shit just kind of like came about. And I was like, I'm down. Fuck it. Y'all want to what? And they was like, yeah. So, all right. You know, I accepted the challenge, you know. And then it brings now I'm here and it brings me back full circle. Full circle. And shit, it reminds, you know, every day with every experience, getting into the ring, going back to the gym, every experience, I'm telling you, fucking reminds me of like what it used to be and like how much I enjoy the struggle of fighting, the preparation, the jogging, the running, the learning the new, the where the when. I it's a weird dynamic because I I'm nervous for the unknown, but it excites me. I don't know if you understand that. Like sometimes you'll hear when I talk because I want to like feel some of the vulnerability of what I'm doing, trying to like be like, am I crazy or is my wife right? Like, am I having a midlife crisis here? Am I like the last person to notice this, right? And I try to tell her, I'm like, shit, for as long as I can remember, this is the way I felt. Um, I couldn't go to sleep. I couldn't turn it off. Well, you know, I didn't go to sleep. Not couldn't go to sleep. I didn't go to sleep without thinking about fighting or boxing for years and years and years and years and years. I just like would sit there and just like fantasize about movements and repetition and fights and going over fights and great classic fights, and I would just watch fights for hours and hours and hours. You know, some of the speaking of which, some great classic fights that I've watched. I was just like scrolling through like some fights and shit, and we were talking about Brian Norman Jr. and Devin Haney, right? The skill of a Devin Haney and a Brian Norman Jr. type fighter. And what fight did I ever think that kind of matched that? Kind of fight could I grab out of the archives and use as a, you know, as an interpretation of how I think that fight would go? And one fight that I came to my mind out of all the fights I've watched a lot of fights, but it was these two styles in particular. Now I understand that the fighters might not exactly like mirror these guys, but a little close. So, what fight would I thought would be like Devin Haney and Brian Norman Jr.? Zab Judah versus Miguel Cotto. Go watch that fight. Zab Judah being Devin Haney and Miguel Cotto being Brian Norman Jr. Now I know what you're gonna say. We know who won the fight if you've seen the fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that the fight's gonna play out the same way. Potentially, yes. That yeah, it could, right? Uh, but you can see in that fight where Zab Judah had a lot of um he he had a lot of like the American. Okay, first of all, before I say this, the American slick style, right? And in the last 10, 15 years, that I think anyway, I feel that a lot of people feel the American slick style is based off Floyd Mayweather style. Being the fact that he did it the best, it must mean that his interpretation of boxing is what the American slick style should look like. And I'm telling you that's not true. The American slick style is like Floyd, but Floyd had a particular style. There were other Black American, Afro American fighters that had the American slick style, such as Sugar Ray Leonard. American slick boxing, American black boxing slick style is Sugar Ray Leonard. Like that kind of style. Pernell Whitaker. You know what I mean? They look different, but there's they're slick nature. So it's not that it's supposed to always look like Mayweather, the American slick style. Okay. So Zab Judah, right? Although he did favor Mayweather a lot, so does Devin Haney, but they don't have to be in the Philly shell type shit. Real fast, elusive fighters, always looking cool and slick, doing some slick shit, making it look easy. They always seemed like the American style was up on the curb. They were ahead of the game when it came to boxing. And other countries always wanted to mirror us. And they were always looking for ways to try to defeat us, Puerto Rico, Miguel Cotto. See, Puerto Ricans, we have a lot of styles. See, Puerto Ricans have gravitated through a lot, and they have taken from a lot of different styles. And through the culture of Puerto Rico and their tough times, man, I got to tell you, they've made some Iron Men over there and some real champions, right? And you can see where that they don't all fight the same. It's like Puerto Rico doesn't have this particular style because Miguel Cotto does not look like Felix Trinidad. Felix Trinidad does not look like Subriel Matias. You know what I'm saying? And Subriel Matias does not look like Oscar Collazo. You feel me? So, like, throughout the years, and Hector Camacho and Edwin Rosario will be here all night, right? But my point is that Puerto Rican fighters, they can fight any they can adapt to anything. And you'll see a lot of different versions of the Puerto Rican style. That's why I think that's might be a little bit part of their success. Their success. It takes a little bit to catch up to them because Mexicans, they typically have favor this way, and Argentinians and so forth and so forth. They got these styles and stuff. And come to think about it, Puerto Rican fighters, man, they adapt to a lot of different mold ways, man. Because Miguel Cotto's is like in the middle of a Subriel Matias and a slick fighter. He was like right in the middle. He was flat footed in a sense, but boy, can he, he'll turn it up in a minute, and he'll have you in trouble fast. A young Miguel Cotto, before that dude did that shit to him, which we believe it was the cement hands, before he damaged Miguel Cotto and he was undefeated, that version of Miguel Cotto, that dude was dangerous. He never really fought like that again. Even when he got his get back, because he got his get back against, I'm not going to say his name is Margarito, but fuck him, right? I don't ever want to say his name. But he got his get back on him, but still, he was never the same fighter again. Yeah, man. He was never the same. Just, yeah. But yeah, man, that fight favors, that's the fight that I think about when I think about Brian Norman Jr. and Devin Haney. Like, if you have another fight that you can think of that the two fighters would kind of like, you know what I mean? Because Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao wasn't because Brian Norman Jr. doesn't have a Manny Pacquiao style. He doesn't really have like a Miguel, but he's closer to Miguel Cotto's than he is with Manny Pacquiao. And I thought Floyd was too far for, Devin Haney, but Zab Judah was like right there. So they were like the down version of the Manny Pacquiao Mayweather. You know what I mean? Right? That's kind of fucked up to say, you know what I mean? To two fucking warriors like Zab Judah and Miguel Cotto. They're fucking gladiators, both of those guys, right? Giving us great fights throughout the years. I can't complain about none of them dudes. Fucking dudes are fucking legends and shit. Their names are gonna ring on for fucking ever, And so you know, but I was a little realistic in my head, is what I'm trying to say. Without being taking shots or anything. No disrespect to Zab or Miguel Cotto at all. You guys are great champions. I apologize if you feel I said anything like that, or anything, because I'm just thinking over it in my head and shit. But I was just, I didn't want to put Devin Haney on a too big of a pedestal, like everybody. Oh, he's the next Floyd. He's the next Floyd. We've done that once too many times. It didn't pan out. AB. How many times they said, "Oh, he's the next Michael Jordan." Penny Hardaway, the next Michael. No. LeBron James. No. Just it never. You know what I mean? They kept the next. Who was it too? The dude. What was his name? From the Suns there. No, not the Suns. Dominique Wilkins played for the Hawks, and he used to go against Mike. They thought he was going to be better than Mike. Just never happened. You get what I'm saying, right? So, yeah. Let me read y'all messages. Over here chopping it up. Yo, round one, what's up? Can I watch Border Wars? Yeah, you can watch it here on my channel. Right here. It's going to be streamed right here on my channel for free. Border Wars. The entire thing from start to finish. Come back to my channel November 8th, Saturday here. It will be streamed. At least I'm not slurring my speech. Yeah, well, you know, uh, that's a good thing, right? That is a good thing. Round one, there was some guy named Rosa said he wanna get in the ring with you. Who the hell is this guy and why does he want to get in the ring with me? I haven't even gotten in the ring with my first guy. Can we concentrate with that guy first? These guys are crazy. Let's go. What's up? 25, 26, and yeah. Yeah, that's my man. Boxing expert. I should ask Turkey when he makes a card for Puerto Rico. I'm not sure Turkey was going to make a card for Puerto Rico, being that, the situation that Puerto Rico's in right now. Uh, if anything, he had an opportunity with um, uh, Sabir Matias, because Turkey was the one that put that Dalton Smith fight together for Sabir, and I think he already gave Homeboy the step aside money. Then Turk tried to get the fight for the low. He tried to pay Sabir Matias like low, and they weren't going for it. So I guess in the argument, Turkey said, let it go to a purse bid. And they fucked around and bought the fight, Fresh Production, for like 1.9 or some shit. Right? So that's how much money you have to split in between the fighters. So Turk, I don't know. I'll ask. I had an interview with him one time. We like this and shit. You know. I probably got a special phone that calls him direct. How do you know? I don't have that. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Turk. Hey, what's up? Yes, we'll do lunch tomorrow. Yes. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? No, I ain't got nothing like that. No, I can't just call that dude and ask him. But I can definitely be like on TBV and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like say it, and maybe it'll get to his ears or something, somebody around him. But yeah, you know. Yo, I tell you what though, right? Uh there's a lot of good Puerto Rican talent right now coming up, like a lot. Uh Once upon a time, like 4 or 5 months ago, there was a lot of chatter, and I was trying to help about Dominican boxers and their guys, that there was a big wave of the next Dominican boxers, and there was so much making noise here, there, little bit of here and there, like this, that it was picking up some momentum, and all of a sudden, boop, 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 a few of them get knocked off, and now it kind of like died down a little, right? Before that, you saw the Mexicans, boop, 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 up there again. What happened? Their leader just took a hit. It's going, you know what I mean? And now I'm like looking and I'm saying, oh shit, look at all these Puerto Rican dudes. Yo, I can't help but notice my boys is really doing their thing. Did you guys see Listen, I know I've been missing in action, but did you guys see Listen, not just these boys is shining, bro. We got more than one dude undefeated right now. We got like 4 or 5. And I know I'm not putting the cart before the horse, because if you don't got more than 10 fights undefeated, it's not really a good undefeated, really like 6-0 undefeated. So I get it. I get it. But it's the way you're dispersing. Why was it okay when fighters like Abdullah Mason was 7-0, he was the next great Sugar Ray Leonard? And he was 8-0, 9-0, like, you know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, you know what I mean? So my boys can do it too. My boys can do it too. And we gonna make some shows, and I'm gonna have Keith Colon come back up on the show. I'm gonna have Jermaine Ortiz also on the show too. I'm gonna have a lot of Latin fighters come up, and we need to show our boys some love here, because I think this is going to 2026 is going to be our year. Xander just got himself a belt, 22. You know what I'm saying? You see Oscar trying to unify and wrap up that division. Keep our fingers crossed. Keep our fingers crossed, because he's going to be the first. He's going to be the first undisputed Puerto Rican champion, bro. Born in Puerto Rico. Let's go, Oscar. Yes, sir. And if he doesn't do it, damn it, then we got our next little wave right here, man. These guys right here, they're gonna start doing their thing. So I got a few of those young men. I guess maybe, I'm getting close to my fight, so I don't want to promise to make a video of that. Maybe I'll wait until after my fight or whatever. And I'll reach out to some of these young men and see if I can get them to get to the platform and start branching back out to the boxing world like I was, and getting some guys to come on. I was going to get Brian Norman Jr. come on, but look, like I tell you, I don't even know when I'm gonna come on sometimes. I be exhausted. Uh, like I said, boxing asks a lot from you, and I have a life. My own family, my wife, axes need some attention from me too. And my daughter and shit. My grass outside doesn't get cut by itself. I got to get on that lawnmower and cut that shit. So it's like it's life demands what life demands, and uh, you got to be tough with yourself. And no matter if you're tired, pissing, moaning, you got to get your ass to that gym. And if you can't get to the gym, then you need to work out. On the days you don't, you got to kind of be your own coach. You got to discipline yourself. This was up to me. If I didn't get my ass to that gym or I didn't put in this work, I don't think I would even be where I'm at. Truthfully, truth be told, win, lose, or draw, I'm happy, with what I've been doing so far. Uh, I'm happy that I haven't sustained such an injury that I had to pull out the fight, you know? Um, and for those things, I'm happy. So, so we have a lot of great young fighters, and I think that Puerto Rico is going to get some more champions. I believe that we are going to get some more champions. And I'm anxious. 2026 is going to be a big year. Bomac. My prediction for this year, I thought that Bomac was going to have a really bad year. Actuality, he did. In fact, I think he lost more than he won. But everyone's gonna argue that the one fight he needed to win was that Terrence Crawford versus Saul Canelo Alvarez fight, and really, you know, screw everything else. But no, because the Keyshawn Davis and the Keyshawn Davis brothers are all attached to Bomac, and all his other fighters those guys are all attached to Bomac, and that all that shit happened in this year. And my prediction was at the beginning of the year when none of this took place. Just remember that. Out of all the coaches, everything, but what do I know? What do I know? Listen, I love boxing. I study fighters. I study situations. I'm just a boxing nerd like that. I might not know everybody's name or like every fight that ever took place in the world, but I know my fair share. I know what my fair share, and I know what I'm looking at. I might not be able to perform it anymore, or maybe at one time I never really had the skills to do it, but I know what I'm looking for. And I believe that if I study boxing more, meet more coaches, watch how they do things, learn behind them. Shit, I learn every day behind my coach and the students, and I watch them, and that, and I learn more and more about fluidity, about the movement of the body, you know, and I'm, my eye for fighting, you know, um, I just have a natural eye, and what I need is guidance and right training to really like lock in what I'm looking at. I might know what I'm looking at, but with a coach's eye behind explaining more to me, bro, I even get that much more dangerous. And then I start to like, more understanding more. And going through this process, that's why I appreciate it all. I appreciate it all. There's a lot I forgot about boxing, and this shit, going back, training and everything, it remind me, and I find a newfound respect for the fighters as well. You know, I really do. It goes to show you like what they go through, every day, and they have to. You have to live a fighter's lifestyle, you know. And sometimes you're not living a fighter's lifestyle. And the crazy thing is that throughout your failures can you can rise. The fear of failing can be more than what you were used or what you wanted to do. Say you want to go out and drink, party, do drugs, bang, hook. I don't know what you're into, right? But sometimes, right, even the greatest fighters, they like go through shit. They do. And in a weird way, like the most craziest ones, like you think of some of the like really great athletes, what you might not know about them, that their life was chaos. Their life was really chaos. And through all that chaos at work, at their craft, they shined the brightest. It was just like watching them, like the beauty in what they did. Watching Lawrence Taylor take apart defenses and just offenses, just crush the quarterback, Lawrence Taylor. And then to see his autobiography and like he's in the back smoking crack in a locker room and his life is chaos. And he couldn't stop. He couldn't stop partying. He wanted to. And he would think, how much better would I have been? Right? But when that whistle rang, that motherfucker turned into beast mode. All that late night, everything didn't seem to affect that man. He reinvented the game, for God's sake. He taught like offense and defense needed to build like and make books around that man. Just one legitimately, he's on the defense. This is not supposed to happen. How the fuck did Lawrence Taylor win the game by himself? How the fuck did he win the game literally by himself? Meaning he can't pass, he's not on an offense. That means he has to sack the quarterback, pick up the fumble, score the ball for 4 quarters, stop their offense from scoring. You just won the game by yourself. You're not on offense. The odds of that. And he did it multiple times. It wasn't like a fluke thing with this man. And there's a lot of great like legends. Michael, they try to play him out to being like this gambleaholic and alcoholic drinker or whatever, like Larry Bird and shit. He'd be drinking beer all night or whatever, but they were so dedicated and focused to their craft that, a little bit of crazy, a little and a lot of greats, they weren't always that poster child or poster boy of an image like Tom Brady that they wanted to portray. This all shucks, I won again type shit. You know what I mean? Like, and sometimes that shit will, don't give up on yourself. Like a lot of fighters go through mental stress. You hear like Ryan Garcia and all these dudes talk about mental stress and the Charlo twins and shit. Because that shit be real, all the pressures of the world and everything, and you fucking up and you coming home like Errol Spence Jr., you in your car drinking and shit. And like you want to have a good time, but your life has been so much fucking punching a punching bag that the good night and the good time can overwhelm you. You want to stay there. You want to stay in the party, and you forgot what got you there, and you can make a lot of mistakes that can cost you dearly. Uh, but sometimes, man, some of life lessons like that can teach you. It can motivate you, and shit like that. It can motivate you to do great things. I can't explain it really like more than that. Like, I just know personally that there's been a lot of athletes that were fucking great at a lot of things. And when you think about going out and doing something or trying to, and you say, man, I can't do this anymore. You know what I mean? You want to quit, just think that, you know, any, anything, anything can really make you quit. Like, it's up to you to fight through it. Uh, you might venture out and give up before you reap the rewards. You know how they say you swam the entire ocean and you drowned at the shore? You swam the whole ocean just to drown at it, to give up. You were like right there. Don't allow things to like break you, make you give up, make you doubt yourself. Oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not this. When they used to say that shit to me, a lot of people used to say, "Yo, why do they, when you're doubting yourself, you what I'm trying to explain is when you hear like a person speaking, it's like a motivational speaker or something, and he's up there, he's talking, he's telling you, oh, when you say to yourself, I can't do it, that used to fuck me up because I used to say, I don't say to myself, I can't do it. That's not what I hear. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. I didn't know, right? I'm so fucking absent minded in that situation. I could be smart for other things. I'm so absent minded in some things. Some things go right over my head, right? I didn't know that you don't hear those exact words. You can't do it. No, it's a process of your thoughts slowly breaking your will down to pursue whatever that was. That's kind of how it works out for me. That's how it's saying, no, you can't do it. I'm fucking waiting for the words, but I've never sat there and said, you can't do this, Edwin. No, it's different in my head. First, it starts off with a doubt. Then my girl says something. Then I walk out, I talk to my neighbor or some shit. And then I see a sign, and one sign said this or this. And all of a sudden, my weird head attached it to. Then all of a sudden, I'm doubting what I was going to do. It doesn't happen exactly like that, but an example. The words don't come out. Edwin, no, you can't do it. That's why when people would say that to me, I'd be like, I don't know what the fuck you talking. I don't say that to myself. You know what I mean? Until I realized that that's exactly what I was doing. It's just a process. When I was putting myself down and saying I can't do this or I can't do that, I didn't understand that I can't do was, you know, everything. It was me in the morning or in the afternoon doing my usual routine and staying stagnant rather than getting shit done. If I got up and I filmed the show or I worked out and I did this, then that would consist of my morning. If by something came in and interrupted that, why was it that I wouldn't go back and do what I had to do? Why was it that now, you know what I'm saying? Oh, and if I have something to do, why is it that I can't break my old patterns to do that and acknowledge that that's important? Shit like that. So I don't know. I don't know. Like, Shakur Steven versus Edwin De Los Santos too. It would have been a good fight for the second one, but Shakur Stevenson will never fight Edwin De Los Santos again. Whatever Edwin De Los Santos hit Shakur Stevenson with that day, he didn't want no part of that. He didn't want no part of it because all the way until that night, Shakur Stevenson was the next phenom. Am I right? Something happened in that ring, bro. Something took place. He hit Shakur Stevenson with something. Let me tell you something. Some of these guys have great poker faces. One of the greatest poker faces I've ever seen in boxing, Floyd Mayweather. You never knew if you actually heard him. Yo, his face expression never changed. Never. Shakur Stevenson is a professional boxer. He's been in a lot of situations. He went to the Olympics, didn't he? I know his grandfather taught him about a poker face in the gym. Okay? When Edwin De Los Santos hit Shakur Stevenson in that fight, something happened. I don't know. But let me give you a summary, a little rundown. Okay? Before that fight, Shakur Stevenson was revered by one of the fighters that got hit the fewest and threw some of the most punches in combos, in combinations. Okay? He would throw 3 to 4 to 5 piece combinations. Shakur Stevenson. Okay? Before the Edwin De Los Santos fight. Now, Edwin De Los Santos, Shakur Stevenson meet. Their fight kicks off. It concludes. Finish. Let's do the numbers. For 12 rounds. 12 rounds. Combined. These two fighters didn't throw more than 126 punches together. You heard that correctly. 126 punches was too much. I actually think they threw 123 or something, right? But I'm saying 126 just to cover it, right? But I don't think they threw more than that. 120. I don't think they got to 126, right? So, by definition, when Ponce fought Subriel Matias, Ponce in the closing of the first round, by copy box stats, Ponce threw 98 punches in one round by himself. If you were to add up Subriel Matias' punches in that round, they would have surpassed the entire Shakur Stevenson and Edwin De Los Santos fight in punches in one round. By definition, I'm just trying to show you the level of action that was taking place in that Edwin De Los Santos and Shakur Stevenson fight. The action was so intense, I didn't know who was winning. That fight is not happening again. Ever. Whatever Edwin De Los Santos did to that man, this is what happened in that fight too, by the way. There was 2 people in the ring, and shame on Edwin De Los Santos for not attacking him. Because if Shakur didn't want to fight no more, Edwin had to pick that up. But this is what happened. You see, Shakur Stevenson is so good, right? With that pull counter, that where he right? He gives the impression with his footwork, it's sneaky. He edges forward, snaps the jab, brings his back foot backwards, right? So when you throw your punch, he slides back and he gives you the impression that he's a little bit back. When he starts to go forward, you're going to notice his back foot slides forward like this. By doing so, Now you're going to think if you throw the punch, he's going to be back here. But no, what he's going to do next is he's going to step with his front foot forward. He's going to get a lot more space, and he's going to be that faster close to you, and he's going to fire off. Then he's going to slide back, step back like this, hit you with the jab, lean forward. You're going to swing, but his foot's going to be back. Then Shakur's going to go like this, and your punch is going to come up that short, that much short to him. And he's going to lean forward, go back with the pull back, and snap you right in your face. That's Shakur Stevenson in a nutshell. And that's what he was going to do to Edwin De Los Santos. Edwin De Los Santos and his team prepared for that. They prepared for it so much, and they wanted Edwin De Los Santos to follow the game plan, that when he did have success with Shakur and what he hit him with, whatever he hit him with, he didn't get out of his game plan. His game plan was to have Shakur come to him. And Shakur said, fuck that, and chose to stay back. Because they knew that if you went in and attacked Shakur, you weren't going to beat him that way. So Edwin De Los Santos didn't go forward. He didn't press because they probably drilled it into his head. He's going to do that pull like you're not going to beat him. You're going to get fucked up. You're going to fight his fight. But you need to stay here. And Edwin De Los Santos did exactly what his coaches trained him to do for that moment in that fight. But he couldn't recognize, he's not fighting. Because, okay, that's a slippery slope. He's not engaging because, I did this to him. And if he's not engaging, hopefully the referees see that he's the one going back, and they award me forward aggression. But you got to push him, or at least, Shakur was circling, but he was looking too cool while he was circling. You know how when he circles, he's got like that smirk, and he shuffles his feet, and he's like, and he looks too relaxed. It doesn't look like you applied any pressure. It doesn't look like you have him under duress or stress. So Edwin De Los Santos, they said, he didn't know how to cut the ring. He didn't know how to do a lot of shit. He just didn't go forward. So, would I like to see it again? No. Would I mind to see it again? No, I wouldn't mind to see it. No, I wouldn't mind. It'd be a curious, interesting fight, but it's just a shame that we're this far along. Because now we really want Shakur Stevenson to fight other guys, or either move up, in fact. And some people said that Edwin De Los Santos made the right decision by not taking that Keyshawn Davis fight. Keyshawn Davis coming in overweight. Edwin De Los Santos could have still had the ability to win that WBO. He would have been a world champion, and Abdullah Mason would not be fighting for that belt right now with Sam Notes there, right? Because Edwin De Los Santos could have won that fight. They said he chose not to take the fight for the money, and he went back to Santo Domingo. And from what I'm hearing in reports, they haven't paid him shit. They haven't paid him anything. He was on that interview and he said it out of his own mouth. They haven't given me shit. So you missed out on an opportunity and stuff, and for a world title, a payday, obviously. But you also gotta think about the fighter's health. And if Edwin De Los Santos and his team felt like what Keyshawn Davis wasn't acting like a professional at the time, and he wants to miss weight and not even show signs of respect, like he wants to try to take off the weight, you're basically telling us, fuck you, I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to set your guy up, come in heavy and knock your guy out. While your guy killed himself from coming from a massive layoff, And Edwin De Los Santos had to kill himself to make that weight. You saw how fragile he looked on that stage. So you're going to put up a weight drained Edwin De Los Santos when you didn't even weight drain your body. Nice, healthy young man. No, it wasn't a good idea to fight Keyshawn Davis at that time. No, it wasn't. No, it was not. But now, will Edwin De Los Santos ever be in a position where that, he would fight for a world title, now, or, uh, hey, I don't know. Round one ending OC in round one. Yo, listen, is what it is, man. You know what I mean? If the boxing gods allow it, then I will complete it. You know what I'm saying? That's all. I done said it. If he messes up, you know what I mean? They don't pay me for overtime. No. My check doesn't get any bigger. You know what I mean? If I go 6 rounds or 6 seconds, you know what I mean? It don't matter. Because OC the boss can be gone in 60 seconds, just like that, up out of here. It's under 60 seconds, gone. You know what I mean? They say you hear 1 minute, gone the next. You know what I'm saying? So, it could be a short night for OC, or it could be a long night of just accumulation of punches to his face. So you can tune in November 8th. If you want to see violence at its finest, tune in November 8th, Border Wars. Or if you're in the area, Atlanta, Georgia. I should be more familiar with like the lounge, but I'll be like, you know what I mean? And you never know. I could have met a friend out in Atlanta, Georgia that watches me, wants to go out there. But if you want to know the location and everything, you can look it up on Ness's website. I should put that up on my web. What am I doing, bro? Absolutely, I should be throwing shit like that up. I done put it like in my group chat, thinking like, okay, let me put it in the group chat. Motherfucker, everybody in the group chat ain't seen it. And on your channel, right? Gotta put that up. So I'll do that. Um, and yeah, you can look it up. Uh, I'm trying to think of the name. I don't want to say the wrong name. And then he said this. Like, nah, let me look it up again. I could right now. Wait a minute. Again. Once again, we could, I mean, shit you can be doing. Like, what is up with you, kid? Hold up. Uh, what? Hero Killer said he can pick you up. Oh shit! I just got a text. I'm gonna have to call him. We could just yeah, we can get some work in. Absolutely. Uh, this. Oh no, that's Ness's thing. All right, he might have sent it to me on Instagram. All right, so I saw that message right there. That's cool from Ness. I'm about to and Ness knows I don't be checking my messages and shit because of all the fucking bullshit mail I get. You know what I mean? I be thinking people be writing me and shit and be like, yo, man, yo, hello, what's up? And then be people trying to, how they say hello, whatever. Yeah. So you don't know what to think or what to believe. You know what I mean? Okay. Oh shit. Oh, that's what's happening. I got it. My my fan is uh is on the Wi-Fi. All right. So you got OC on. What you mean you got OC on? When? What the hell? Yo. Yo. Um, so guys, I guess OC the boss is over on talking up north with the uh Ryan Frazier and shit. Yeah, you know what I mean? So yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, I was supposed to be looking up the thing too. For the fight with Ness. Okay. Well, how was I doing it? Okay, wait a minute. All right. Okay, wait. What the fuck was I doing? Okay, if he sent it to me, right? Right, right. No, Jesus Christ, Edwin, you would drown in a cup of water. Yeah, you would. You would die. That's a damn shame, bro. You would die. I would die, and wow, I can't find this at all. Oh, right here, right here. I got it. I got it. I got it. I had it the whole time. I was just like fucking with y'all, see if y'all, be patient and shit. That's all I was doing. All right, it's here. So, God damn it, I ain't got my glasses on. How was I gonna see this? You know what? I could like zoom in and out. Okay. Border Wars 17, presented by the boxing voice, counter punch, conventional Lugo boxing thriller. Wait a minute. No. Wait a minute. Wait. Where's the street? Okay, so I guess let me blow it up a little bit. Right here. This would be the boxing location. Lugo Boxing and Fitness right there. See it? And that's the address in Atlanta, Georgia. That's the venue, the place. Tickets are 35.88, I think that is. Yeah, what a weird number. 35.88. It's a weird number, right? That's how they do in Atlanta. In 88s, not 99. It'd be like 35.99, right? They in Atlanta they do 35.88. Yo, what if I went to Texas and they were like, in Texas, 35.77. Yo. All right, I guess the starting time is 11 o'clock, right? Let's see if I can get this. Come on, camera. Come on, camera. Do your thing. I guess you can see it like that. I don't know. But it starts November 8th at 11 a.m. And I believe that me and OC the boss got upgraded to the main event. So, yeah, I mean, come out and check us out. So, fight fans, listen, guys, thank you for tuning in. I'll keep you guys focused. It's in the gym, getting that work in. You know what I mean? So, uh, I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm a little disappointed in some areas, but overall, I'm happy with my with the way things are going. I think that even these short few days now, I can get a little bit more sharper, better, and hopefully, I don't let you guys down, let myself down. So let's Um, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. All right, I'm gonna leave it right there. I'm gonna leave it as that. So, fight fans, I'm on to the next one here at Round One Sports Talk. You guys have been the best, and look out for my notifications when I drop my next videos. And don't forget to hit the video, give the videos a like, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. And I invite you to become a Round One Sports Talk